Good evening, friends. Welcome to episode 10. Episode? Sure, we'll go with that. Episode 10. I've been saying sessions of Jmac Plays Hadean Lands, a text adventure game by Andrew Plotkin. The big 1-0. Last session ended with a tidy and discreet act break. And I think rather than explaining what would happen, we will explain what will happen. But in addition to explaining what would happen, I just want to reread what happened to get us sort of back into the swing of things. And I'm going to share something funny I found that sort of exists outside of the game. So what happened in short was that we went ahead and performed the ritual known in the game as the Great Marriage. And that involved throwing a whole bunch of stuff down into the Marcher's central ritual bound in the nave, and then wacky stuff happened. So I'm going to reread the thing that happened. So here we are in the nave, and let's start from speaking the Marcher's invocation. You take a breath, trace the bound in your mind, and intone the Marcher's ceiling. The arc begins to glow smoke gray. You put the ephemeris billet on the gestalt shelf. You wave the sprig and inhale its fresh resinous aroma. The air seems to sharpen. And now we get serious by throwing in the four elements in the classical Greek tradition, of course, into the bound. Put air in bound. You twist the bubbles valve and carefully vent the elemental air into the bound. It whisks around the arc and slowly thickens into an indistinct haze in the circle. Put water in bound. You crack open the capsule and pour the elemental water into the bound. The sparkling drops never land on the workbench surface. Instead, they whirl around the arc and slowly fade into the thickening haze. Put earth in bound. The gray light ripples as you push through the arc. The shard of elemental earth does not fall. It hangs in the center of the circle, spinning and spinning until it blurs into the thickening haze. Put fire in bound, which is to say the flaming phlogisticated gold rod in the pedestal bound. The gray light ripples as you push through the arc. The elemental fire leaps from the rod. You pull the cold rod back. The flame whirls unsupported in the center of the arc, slowly dimming into the thickening haze. The whirling haze seems to expand and thicken. You sense a ripple in the air. Outside the bound, which is impossible, you look around. The black marks on the wall are moving, flowing, coming free, being drawn towards the pedestal. That's bad. You hear the walls creaking. You smell blood and copal incense. You feel the whirling force of the ritual against your mind. This is bad, you think. You awaken again. Tertiary Alchemy Lab, and then Ensign Forsyth does all their usual stuff to get to the mechanical lab, at which we end with, you notice a fresh sheet of paper by the door. Huh? That wasn't there before. The paper appears freshly written, but you don't recognize the script. A homunculus is not a daemon or a servant. It is a seed of animation without volition, a quickening spark. It cannot act or move on its own, but in combination with other works, it may become something greater. You memorize the information and also pick up the sheet just in case. Why all this talk of homunculi? Well, if you'll recall, where's our alchemy journal? The Great Marriage had among its scribbled note, at the end of it, no wait, there's something scrawled on the back. The homunculus. Sure, that clears everything up. So, yes, as skeptical as Ensign Forsyth was about this particular ritual, it does appear that we created the implication. Excuse me. The implication is that by doing this, we created a homunculus, which I believe literally means a little man. You made a little servant, but what we learn here, at least in IRL alchemical in Golden Dawn stuff, that's what that is. But here, the game says after you perform that ritual, no, it's not a little man. You don't make a little dude. You don't make an elf. You just put animated force out into the world. Whew. And now that you've added this to the world, you get to do other stuff, and you achieve something greater. So now I think this is our prompting to go out into the world, which is to say the world of the game, which is to say His Majesty's Marcher, and re-explore where we are and make sure that, see what's changed and see if we can motivate things that up until now were a little dry of motivation. And I'm thinking in particular, but not limited to, those dragons, but also those marks on the wall, which were just described as flowing through. Now I'm going to check a couple of things because I actually just upgraded, you're going to laugh, but I updated my copy of OBS, and I want to make sure I'm actually broadcasting. Yes, I am. Good. And the other thing I'm going to share with you now is I found some notes. I found some notes in an old notepad in this program I like to use on my Mac a lot called Voodoo Pad. And I have, let me bring this up here. Oh, yeah. So I have a page on it. This is going to contain a swear word, so hide your eyes. But I don't know if you can see this. I don't know how to make this bigger. But I have a notebook page on it. This is a page from when I played the beta tested this game 7 or 8 years ago. So I have a page just called How Shit Burns, where I did, in fact, order the various woods in the game in spectral order. And so I did at the time figure out by myself like how that's supposed to work, which is important. And I was able to somehow drag that out of my brain meat 1 or 2 sessions ago. So I feel pretty good about that. Also in here somewhere is, well, I'm not actually going to show it to you because we're going to discover it together. But it, I clearly, even though I did not do it this time without a nudge, at the time with the beta, I was able to figure out how to do the Great Marriage by myself without a nudge about, hey, why don't you go try this? And I took some notes about the game state afterwards. So I will say no more about that. I'm going to close Voodoo Pad, lest it tempt me to look up more things that we don't need to know right now. And let's go out into the world together, my friends. Here we are in the Mechanical Lab. And by the way, I am Doug, my pal Doug, who's been with me watching in the chat or afterwards in recording since we started this 9 weeks ago, commented that, yes, this new style of streaming I'm trying with this more simple layout, it's flicker free. But also I have to like sort of recalibrate the text size. So I'm trying with he said the text looked a little small last time. So I'm trying with a slightly bigger font size and such. And I am very open to thoughts on that. Enough jibber jabber. Let's bring our map back up. So we're here in the Mechanical Lab. We should go to parts of the ship where there is graffiti, but really the thing to do is to look around the whole place again, much as we did with the Oculus. And, you know, there's only so much ship, so generally I'm in favor of that. So let's start exploring. We'll leave that on the background. And let's see. Let's just put it to one side just for the sort of security blanket. We don't need that right now. We're just going to walk around for a bit. Stretch our legs. See if anything else is different. Honestly, that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just going to walk around a bit. I don't think I took a note of where the black marks are. I remember there's someone in the nave. And I remember there's some... No, I don't remember. There's definitely some in the nave. There might be some in the staircase? Let's get to the nave. Let's get to the one place that we know that weird graffiti is. And we will learn more when we do that. Just checking to see if any of these doorways open to anything else either. Opening this door in the optics lab, still Reveal starlit ice and snow. Nothing new there. Really cool looking. It's just nice to look at that. Look at it. Yeah, still good. Okay. Tertiary Alchemy Lab. Have we ever really never gone in there? I don't think we've ever gone into this room. Huh. What does recall doors say nowadays? Oh, the doors are remarkably, it's a remarkably small list. Let's go through this because I don't think we've ever done this. Secondary Alchemy Lab door. Well, yes, it's locked, but it's also messed up by the fracture, so who cares? Chemical Lab, same story. We can get into both of those. Optics Closet, yes, but that's all messed up on the map, so I don't think we can get into that ever. Deck Suite Venture Door, interesting. I don't even remember that one. Let's see that. How is that marked on the map? That is also marked on the map as all messed up, and that's the Master at Arms. So if anything is all scribbled over with white, I'm assuming that that's just going to be out of bounds the whole game. Perhaps that is a foolish assumption, but that's what I'm going with at this time. Tertiary Lab is what I'm speaking about. That is not messed up on the map. That is a perfectly room-colored room with a door that's just sitting there being locked at you. Very fascinating. Airlock outer door, no, certainly never done that. Portico main door, same story. They both open into hard vacuum, so that's why we haven't opened them. Exoscape hatch, same story again. Chancel gate. Where's that? Chancel. Oh, yes, that's the door between the antechamber and the chancel, I believe it's referring to. So haven't been there. Barracy gate, no. South Chasm Bridge, nope. That's the thing. The gravity is too weird. We can't do it. Garden Maze Crawlway. Garden Maze Crawlway. Well, there is a paper maze. Can we not go down it? That's odd. We've certainly gone down. Oh, by the crawlway, it means, yes, you can go downstairs from the paper maze, but then you cannot go south into the Barracy because, again, gravity's messed up. And the final thing under recall doors is 15 fractures, which, yep, those certainly are doors. So other than Tertiary Lab door, like they all seem to be like, yes, I accept that these are locked doors that we can do nothing about right now. I guess for all of them, I'm just fascinated that there's just a wooden door with a lock in the midst of all this much stranger locks and fissures and barriers. Anyway, our tour continues. Good to see all these old places again. I like every... Oh, here we go, black marks. Graffiti has been scrawled on the wall here. The black marks are curiously twisted. They hint at meaning, but you cannot read them. Well, friends, we do... I mean, so say you. We have a number of things that let us look through things to see other things, so I immediately want to go make those oculi and lenses. Twisting, involuted strokes of black are scrawled against one wall. The graffito is irregular, neither artistically symmetrical nor ink splotch random. But if this is a script, it's utterly foreign to your understanding. E.T. has been tagging our walls again. Oh, right. Maybe, I don't know. Let's make the Oculus. Love that Oculus. Love that Oculus. All right. And let's run back to the lab hall. Look at marks. Oh, yeah, I'm remembering another thing I wanted to do, but we'll get... the symbolic associations with the black marks are as unfamiliar as the script itself. That's not interesting at all. Let's make the lens. Back to the... the planetary lens. I guess that already doesn't sound that exciting, but, you know. I already did that. The other thing. The black marks, when viewed through the planetary lens, are blurred and indistinct. You feel no texture of ink or paint on the black lines. I don't know. I'm running out of senses here. They don't smell like nothing. Okay. I thought the black marks would be doing something more interesting than continuing to hang out, but I accept that they're continuing to hang out. I happen to know, because this is something I remembered because it was really freaky from my first playthrough, that something's going to be different, and I know what it is, and I'm just going to let us come across it. Can we play with the pressurization lever? Probably not. Nope. It's really expensive to get into the medical wing, and I don't want to bother. Here we are. Well, okay, we have returned to the nave where we did that crazy ritual. And I'm going to read this room description from the top. The nave is the marcher's heart. Through the rows... I'm going to start again. The nave is the marcher's heart, though the rows of benches are empty now. The seats face a pedestal, on which is a ritual bound and a shelf. The side walls boast symbolic frescoes. The south wall is a high, ornamented metal mesh, the writ screen, which separates the nave from the chancel. That much we've read before. Now we're going to go off script. Something has happened here. The murals are badly cracked. One to the southwest has collapsed entirely, leaving a ragged gap which leads down into a crawl space. The main corridors run east and west from here, and the retort's entry hall is north. The black markings have disappeared from the broken mural. No, they've been replaced. Rewritten? You now see a dense cluster of silvery lines on the ceiling, directly above the pedestal bound. They do not resemble the black graffiti you saw before. This is a random scribble of silver. So what's news? This talk of a ragged gap, unless it was here this whole time and I've been overlooking it, I think that's new. Certainly new is this silver. So the black marks, while they were still present in the hallway, this main knot or cluster of them that has been in the nave the whole time is gone and replaced with silver gobbledygook that seems even less meaningful. Let's take a closer look at that. Is this the homunculus that the ritual promised? You have no idea what a homunculus is supposed to look like outside of the doll figures of medieval art. You suppose this silvery scrawl might be a distant cousin of the dragon mandalas that you've seen, but it is entirely disorganized, chaotic. Although, if you squint, you could imagine that the scribble has a fish-like outline. The scribble seems to have changed position slightly. Oh, well, I'm going to look at it again. If you squint, you could imagine that the scribble has a snake-like outline. The scribble shifts slowly across the ceiling. We're going to sit here and just gape open-mouthed at it like a yokel for a bit, all right? If you squint, you could imagine that the scribble has a cat-like outline, has a humanoid outline, and we're back to snake again. Okay, so we're just watching clouds, I think. I'm not going to trust that the shapes are particularly meaningful. I think that it is... perhaps it is actually moving, or perhaps the scribble itself is not really moving in physical space, but it is just continuously suggesting things onto a sentient viewer. I'm drawing on my trove of science fictional tropes here. Cool. Well, we made that thing. Can we touch it? If we describe it as the homunculus, will it work? Exciting. How do you spell homunculus? Yeah, you can refer to it as the homunculus if you want. I'm going to keep calling it the scribble, though. Is it close enough to touch? The scribble is out of reach. Hey, we already made those oculus. Nope. Didn't spell it right. You peer through the oculus at the silvery scribble. It has a more symmetrical, intricate cast from this vantage. You can make out the blend of fire, water, earth, and air that went into its making. You peer at the silvery scribble through the planetary lens. Its associations are incomprehensible. Okay. Huh. Cool. So he made this thing that's hanging out on the ceiling. And what else is in this room? We have a crawl space. The murals, I think some of this we've read before, but it would have been a long time ago. The murals depict alchemical man passing through the 8 stages of calcination, dissolution, sublimation, and so on. It's wonderfully detailed, and you can stare at it for hours, which is, of course, the point, even though these medieval theories have long since been subsumed into modern alchemical science. In the southwest corner, the mural depicting conjunction has collapsed in on itself. Behind it is a ragged crack and rubble, which slopes down into an open space. It's wide enough for your body, nudge, nudge. Go ahead, walk on in. You twist yourself through the crack. New room, nave, crawlway. This was once the north end of a crawlway, but the passage has collapsed, leaving only this small space. Debris is heaped up to the south. Light slants in from a gap in the ceiling. You see a vial of white powder lying in the rubble. It's labeled high lime. This vial contains a small quantity of high lime, a bone-white crystalline powder. Okay, well, we know where that is. The high lime is odorless. I don't know why we're doing this. It's fun. Don't eat the chemical substances. Whoops, sorry, okay. The crawlway, we cannot go south because the crawlway is entirely blocked by fallen debris. So we now have access to high lime. I do not recall high lime being mentioned in any ritual so far. I'm sure it will. Perhaps we'll make a delightful beverage out of it. It sounds tasty. Sounds mouth-watering. Okay, well, we have a homunculus, and it's not clear what to do with it. We don't have a, hey, transfer the magical writing on the wall into a quartz so I can rewrite something else. It's just present. It's present in the middle of the ship. So it is. Let's continue investigating because we haven't found the weird thing. The unusual oddity, the novelty of which I referred before, which we will see. Actually, we zoomed right past one. Let's go to the portico because I was about to do that. Oh. Okay. We went to the portico. We got the portico description, and the last line says, the scribble slides into the room behind you. So we have a buddy. We have a friendo. Okay, all right. That implies to me that we can use this to jumpstart a dragon, because we certainly have access to multiple dragons at this point, and they're all borked. That implies to me that we might be... boy, okay. Before we do that, I want to go... Scribble is... Okay. I'm getting used to this already. It's following us around. That's cool. Oh, okay. Here we are in the lab wing hallway, and things are different. I'm going to read this whole room description. I don't think that this happened the last time we were here. Please excuse me. Never mind. Lab wing hallway. This hallway runs east and west. To the west, beyond an open fire door, is the rest of the retort. A smaller door to the north leads to the primary alchemy lab. It is also open but blocked by another fracture. An archway to the south leads to the library. You see Lieutenant Andrus here. Now, the last time we saw her, if I recall correctly, she was in the crawlway underneath the secondary alchemy lab, and she's the first of the apparently frozen crew members that we encounter. You see Lieutenant Andrus here, no longer isolated by any fracture, but still unmoving. Unexpected word order. Let's try this again. Whatever has the retort in its grip, it has not let her go. She seems to be peering at the fracture to the north as if contemplating the primary lab. Another standard glass chime lies in the middle of the hall. This one is a glass G-flat. The scribble slides in along the wall. The scribble slides past the lieutenant's frozen form. As it does, you hear her voice. How can I get the stuff out without being seen? You peer at Lieutenant Andrus. No, she has not moved, not even her lips. But the words echo in your ears nonetheless. And that is the weird thing I was looking forward to. I didn't remember that the positions of the crew members are A, different, and B, that they're just standing out in the middle of the open, which is creepy as hell. Hello? Although she is no longer fracture blocked, she feels like a statue, not stone, but hard and utterly still. It's as if she exists within an imperceptible layer of altered time. Yep. So full marks to, I think it was Bill who may have theorized that different time frames, if you will, is what's afflicting the crew and the everything else on board the retort. Still, let's just be dramatic here. Yeah, there's no reply. Can we carry her around? No sarcastic reply to that. She cannot be moved. I haven't actually examined her. Lieutenant Andrus is a tall, sour-faced officer. She is no longer behind the fracture, but she still seems to be frozen in place. Yes, Bill, you called it. It's all you. Okay, so how can I get this stuff without being seen, she says, peering at the primary alchemy lab. We recall that at the start of the game, she was in the crawlway with a container of something or other under her arm. So is this before that? Are we, in fact, moving backwards in time now? I have no idea. But I will tell you this. Apparently, we can now touch... We can do the thing that is you can steal and you can borrow somebody's aura to get through a locked door. And if nowhere else, we can use our senior officer here for that. And I think that that'll work because she is not behind a fracture anymore. So something to try later. Cool. But we have been playing this game in a breadth first approach. So let us continue our tour of the ship and see what other oddities we come across. At this point, I guess we should go into the medical wing, huh? Just to be completionist, and also the herbarium, and also the crawlway. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Nothing there. Nothing interesting here. Okay. Let's just go straight to the herbarium then. Nothing new here. You no longer see the scribble. Really? The scribble drifts in through the wall. You no longer see the scribble. Is it just too dark? Does it not like crawlways? That might be the case. Okay. It just doesn't want to come into the crawlway for some reason. All right. We've explored all the stuff that is south of the secondary alchemy lab. Nothing weird there. Let's go back to the nave. Move over here. Touring. Nothing in the west side hall. That's odd. Definitely want to go to the captain's quarters. Huh. Okay, hang on. The scribble silently arrives as we come into the paper garden. It's slightly distorted, tilted towards the arch. Wow, what arch are we talking about? To the east, a paper arch gives entry to the paper hedge maze. Well, notably, what's inside the arch is there's a dragon in there. So I think it's like, hey, I want to go over here. I want to go kiss a dragon. That's what I think is going on. But yeah, you'll get yours, Scribble. You keep your pants on, homunculus. Oh, this is weird. Okay, more weird stuff. This is what we're doing. Meanwhile, at the top of the grand stair, Lieutenant Powes has vanished. Only a shadow remains within the fracture. The scribble slides in along the wall. It is slightly distorted in the direction of the engraved door. Is that the birdhouse? Yes, because there's a dragon in there. Yes. Okay. Okay. What's this about a shadow? You see a faint trailing shadow where Lieutenant Powes was standing. So, okay. I think all the crew has moved elsewhere. Or they've disintegrated. Probably not. I think they've just moved around a bit. Let's not run into the birdhouse right now, even though we know how. Now the scribble wants to go into the Iron Gate because there is a dragon on the other side of it, but we've never figured out how to get to the other side of it, so we are especially not doing that. The scribble doesn't want to come underground. It just doesn't. Interesting. Well, we'll just walk around anyway. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, I can't remember which direction. Well, no, we're not doing that yet. Scribble is slightly distorted, stretched upwards because that's the first dragon. That's the first trick we learned was how to get into the bridge. And yeah, that's absolutely okay. So my guess as to what the scribble is for is absolutely correct. It wants to activate a dragon. So my guess is we use the scribble to activate a single dragon, and then we use that other ritual we found last week to jumpstart other dragons based on that. Let's reread that ritual so that I know what I'm talking about. Go to my alchemy journal. Oh boy. Oh, fulcrum. There it is right there. No. This ritual requires a bound of metallic quicksilver or a quicksilver amalgam. Place a stone token within, speak Grendel's sealing, pour vitriol onto the stone, invoke the dragon's name, and conclude with the relative anima. Interesting, but the words dragon's name have been scratched out below them as a smudged knot or tangle of lines. Well, we have one of those. We now have a smudged knot or tangle of lines following us around with like a puppy. So maybe maybe that's enough. But I don't know that we have Grendel's sealing, huh? No, we don't. We do not need it. All right. Look at all these ceilings we have. I'm not going to go through them all. So this isn't something we're expected to do right now. Let's keep walking around a little bit before we turn any dragons on. Oops. The captain is here in the Scaife arcade. You see the captain here. She is still frozen stiff, caught while still peering around the room. Excuse me, caught still while peering around the room. She was not peering around the room the last time we were here. The scribble slides past the captain's frozen form. As it does, you hear her voice. How can I clear out that crawlway without alerting anyone? But she has not moved. She is looking around with a discontented air. Can we use that earring on something? Ah, come on. Okay, fine. So the Captain is here. How can I clear out that crawlway? Is she referring to the flooded crawlway that is right here? Yeah. Well, I mean, we have free access to it and walk around it all we want to. And I don't know what use to us these thoughts of these characters are. And I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's go through. You know what? It occurs to me we did not look at the crawl space in the nave through the oculus, so I need to go through that. Let's just... Yep. Nailed it. I'll have to go do that. Nothing new here. Yeah, I really want to play with those dragons too. Captain Hart has vanished. Only her shadow is here, as we would expect. Here's the ensign. Ensign Seatesk is here in the deck suite. Seatesh? I'm just going to say Seatesk and let him correct me later. You know what? I'm going to go to howtopronounce.com right now. I've been using this at work, friends. Let's go for this. No results found. Did I already do this in a previous episode? I did. This seems familiar. Never mind then. Sorry, Ensign. Your name is too weird. The scribble slides past the ensign's frozen form. As it does, you hear his voice. How can I get those books from the rector's quarters? But he's not moved. Yeah. He's peering at the doors with unnerving intentness. So the rector's room is right here. There's no books here. So I don't know what he's talking about. So I wonder... So, okay, the first thing that occurs to me here is that all these other people are all having their own similar adventure. Like, we're playing an MMO, and all these other crew members are also having their own bizarrely solitary adventures trying to fix the Marcher. And I'm just seeing them in snapshots of solving their own puzzles. And the thoughts I have is just like, what do they happen to be thinking about at that time? So that's my current theory about what's going on, is that the crew of the Marcher, we cannot observe each other working except by accident, by doing these weird rituals. And I probably appear as one of these statues to them, if anything. And that's what I think is going on. And there's nothing I can do about that, but it's cool. It's a cool theory, and I'm going to stick with it. Okay, enough messing around. Let's go mess with the dragon. The one that I want to fix the most is the one in the Barassi, because I think it would unlock... Yeah, it would fix the most things. But I can't... That's the one I can't get access to. So fixing Pneuma might give us help with all the... I don't know. Let's not overthink it. Let's just try fixing one of them and see what happens. Remember where it is? I think it's in the garden maze. Okay, recall Pneuma. Pneuma is responsible for light, warmth, and the flow of air. Pneuma is in the paper maze center. Last you saw, something was wrong with it. I'm interested in that because both in the airlock and in the scaphe, there's problems with air and air pressure and stuff. So let's go screw around with that. If I'm still available to, if I haven't burned my access to it. And if we have, we'll just reset. Nope, we can't. You know why? Because the Orch Alchem Rod is gone. I'm going to say what I meant. We're going to reset. And here we are back in the mechanical lab again. And there's that quote-unquote fresh sheet of paper, but I think it's the same fresh sheet of paper as before. So I'm going to studiously ignore it. And I'm going to go right to the Paper Maze Center. Oh, wait a minute. I say that, but I didn't actually pick up my friend, did I? Right. In a amusing twist, I assume you have to go through the nave in order to get to the maze center, but you're doing it at such speed you don't even stop to acknowledge the homunculus, so it does not acknowledge you back. I bet if we move, it'll follow us. It's not following us. What? What? That's odd. Come on, little buddy. Okay. You sort of have to dislodge it, and I'm not sure precisely what you need to do, but I was just kind of screwing around with it a little bit. Maybe you just have to sit there and wait. Maybe you actually do have to examine it and examine it more closely. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to play with it in the game to come. But let's go back to the maze center. All right. The scribble slides into the room behind you. It doesn't quite stabilize this time. It seems to be drifting slowly towards the dragon mandala. Well, I'm not going to get in its way. That's why we came here. The silver scribble has followed you. It now shines on one of the screens. You suppose it might be a distant cousin of the dragon mandalas you've seen, but it is entirely disorganized, chaotic, and by screens it means the screens of like Japanese-style paper screens that make up the maze. But it is entirely disorganized and chaotic, not to mention unnervingly mobile. Although if you squint, you could imagine that the scribble has a snake-like outline. The scribble is drawn towards Numa like a bubble to a drain. So we have a number of moves here, which were like, well, if you're going to do something, now would be the time to do it. Do I have any idea what to do? No, I don't. So I'm just going to sit here like an idiot and let whatever is about to happen, happen. Whoops. Okay. The scribble spirals around Numa, inward. The mandala flares with a sea green light, and it is blinding. You hear the aroma of copal incense, smell the texture of shattering glass. Now we awaken. Oh, what? So we awaken and then sleepwalk to the nave, I guess? You notice a fresh sheet of paper by the pedestal. That wasn't there before. The paper appears freshly written, but you don't recognize the script. It is now clear that the ritual must be performed in the chancel. I had hoped, foolishly, that the nave bound was sufficient, but my attempts there have provoked no reaction from the retort at all. I suppose that in attempting to reanimate the dragons, I am, in a sense, reenacting the Marcher's original investment. I must therefore maximize the sympathy with the chancel rituals. I am not sure whether I can break through the security strictures, but I will have to try. If I fail, then whoever finds this, you will have to try harder. The Draken invocation is spelled out below. You memorize the information, including the Draken invocation. You also pick up the key cheat, just in case. Okay, so here is what is being suggested to us. Doing the Great Marriage in the Nave is wrong. You make a borked homunculus that, as soon as it tries to reactivate a dragon, just resets you. But in the first time you do it, you get a clue that no, you have to do it in the chancel. And by doing it wrong the first time, by nudging all of your crew members outside from the on your side of the fractures. Now you can do the ritual to make the thing, to steal their aura, to get into the chancel. So that's what we're going to do. Next, I do believe. I'm just going to steal the captains because I am a big jerk. Oh, yes, but we did want to make the Oculus and look into the thing and did do that too. So let's just do that and get that out of the way. Yes, please. Well, 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 well. The Oculus reveals a lavender spark floating in the air. You focus on the lavender spark through the Oculus. A new memory comes into focus. It concerns a potion. Muldoon's potion for survival in vacuum. This potion is a staple of marcher work, for it permits one to walk freely in Hadean Lands title for up to 6 hours. Fortunately, the procedure is simple. Never say that in your technical writing. Don't say that. Why? Anyway. Prepare an exhilarant environment and a measure of saline. Begin with a sealing word of passivity. Add high lime ... to the beaker, followed with the anodyne evocation and the greater phlogistical saturation. I think we can do all these things. Neat. Oh boy. So now we have 2 avenues of exploration, and I'm going to add these to my notes, because that's exciting. Where is my thing? Oh my goodness. Hadean Lands. That's the game we're playing today. We haven't done that. We did that. What are we doing? Use the aura stealing thing to get into the chancel. Try the great marriage again in the chancel. And then make the vacuum potion and play with it, I guess. But one thing at a time. We definitely, we need to get into the chancel. So we need to look at our list of goofy things. Imitation. This is the one we've made. So, ARF. Okay. So I think we can perform aura imitation. Do you mean the one with quartz or the one with jade? I mean the one we've already done. That's what I mean. And now we have a long quartz prism inscribed with the imitation symbol. Good. Where are we? It doesn't matter where we are. Yoink. Captain Hart has vanished. Only a shadow remains. That's extremely inconvenient. Why? she was right here. No. Yeah, okay. All right. You see a faint trailing shadow where Captain Hart was standing. I'm not going to panic. I refuse to panic. That's not how we do things here. I guess we're just going to walk around and hope that we come across a crew member that outranks us and isn't behind a fracture. All right. Back we go to walking around like an idiot. Well, this is where the captain was the last time the first time, we saw her was she was behind this fracture, and it's not like she snapped back there, so that's good maybe. And and the ensign isn't there. Not that we cared about him that much. Nothing new here. Yes, Doug, I'm very sure that the song Numa by Tool is about the dragon in this game, which invented the word Numa. And Tool is, Tool might like interactive fiction. I don't know. I don't know those guys. For all I know, they seem like nice guys, nice smart guys. Everybody's gone, man. Another shadow. I don't like this. Where is everybody? Oh, you see Ensign Seatesk standing here. I don't care. Where, where's the lieutenant? Where's the cap? Anyway, his normally placid face is sharpened into an expression of feverish avarice. Really? Ensign Seatesk looks towards the books. Clearly, he has snuck in here without permission. You can understand that even if he has bent the edges of the rules. Excuse me. You can understand that even if he has bent the edges of the rules. You too are on the retort for knowledge. Yeah, but the books are all going to be messed up, right? Yeah, they're all in dream stuff. Oh, and the scribble's gone. I think we messed it up. I should go look at Numa, huh? Let's go make sure. Let's go have a look at Numa. No, we're not. Grumble, grumble. Okay. We still have to find someone who outranks us. Bill is asking, snuck? Yeah, and about the ensign? Yes, there's two ensigns here. It's true. Clearly, he has snuck in here without permission. Yeah, I don't see what's unusual about that. I guess it doesn't really go with my theory, but that everyone is just sort of barging around. But I don't know. I don't know what's on their own timelines. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Here's the captain. The captain is standing here, gazing moodily off down the hall. The crack in her martial facade is disturbing and faintly disappointing. Your perspective shifts. The idea of Captain Hart being moody is nigh incomprehensible, but you suppose that even a marcher captain can have a human side. Good for her. Interesting italic aside there. I'm going to defend Snuck. Sorry. I'm going to defend... yeah. No, I'm going to defend Snuck. I'm going to say it's okay. I'll accept your edit. Well, anyway, I'm going to need your yeah. I'm going to need your aura there, Captain. So if you don't mind. You press the long quartz prism against Captain Hart. You feel nothing, but the symbol distorts, absorbing the imprint of her aura. Gee, I hope I did that in the right order. Let me just, it's been a long time. Can I just check the touch the token to the donor and then to the recipient? Note, imitating the aura of a superior officer is a malfeasance under naval law. I'm sure they can find some forgiveness for that given the circumstances. Right then. Captain Hart. I don't know where the... what's she looking at? What's she looking at? Just down the corridor? Moodily. This is weird. I want to see if I can just find the ensign, excuse me, the lieutenant just standing around somewhere, but guessing not. No, I don't know. What are we doing? We are going to go see if we can open up the chancel. So can we get to the antechamber without needing to do a reset at this point? I don't know. Let's find out. Yes, we can. Okay. Yeah, you reach for the bars, but your fingers go numb and slide away. This gate has a psychic security structure as well. It feels even tighter than the one on the birdhouse. So if I touch the symbol to myself, I think that will let us get through. It will imbue me with Captain Smell from the door's perspective, I think. You press the long quartz prism against your hand. The imitation symbol discharges with a thrum. You feel a sudden dissociation and estrangement as though your thoughts belong to someone else. The bars are solid in your fingers now, although your hand feels like part of somebody else's body. Chancel. The knave may be the heart of the retort, but the chancel is its soul. The master rector performs the marcher's most crucial rituals here. The ritual bound is a low pedestal of chased rutulum, with a shelf beside it. The rest of the room is rather emptier than it looks from the outside. To the north is the writ screen and the nave beyond it. To the south, the circular gate stands open. A crisp sheet of paper is pinned next to the screen. So, you've made it to the center of the universe. Good job, if you know what you need to do here. The sense of estrangement fades away. That was my Sarge voice, by the way. The reality of the world reasserts itself. Okay. Do we still have our oculus? Yeah. I don't know what that was. Nothing, no sparks. No sparks here. I don't think the bound will be anything special. The pedestal is an octagonal rutulum plate, several feet wide, engraved with a ritual bound. A flat rutulum crescent projects to the side, forming a gestalt shelf. The rutulum bound is empty. Looks empty. The writ screen is a mesh barrier which forms the north wall of the chancel. So nothing more interesting on this side than from looking at it from the nave side. I wonder if it's meant to be like a big monitor, like a projection screen. It's very mysterious to me what that actually is or what it would look like in real life. Can I see the nave through? The nave is visible on the other side of the writ screen. It looks just as you left it, murals and crack and all. Well, let's get to that paper then. The paper is headed Grendel's ceiling, and a phrase is spelled out in phonetic symbols. Okay, there's that. Now we can jumpstart dragons, I guess. That was the one thing we were missing. All right. No. Great. Well, we did this, and I'm going to tick that off our list. And we have to perform the Great Marriage here. And that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? No, not necessarily. We have to do the thing where we need to No, we can do this. Let's see if we can just gather all our ingredients. The main challenge is getting through that burning corridor. But I think in order to gather everything, you needed to get to the antechamber anyway. So we still needed to do the thing with the alternate way to phlogisticate the electron. I think we've already done that. Let's check our list. Well, hang on. So there's gold ignition. And okay, what was the other thing? I can't remember if we actually did the alternate ignition last week or not. We did find the yang oil. I did do the very stupid thing where I actually made the electrum regium. I guess that was... Oh, electrum phlogistication. No, we have not done it. What were we missing? Oh, yeah. I was stuck on how to make a catalytic environment without platinum. That's where I was stuck. What else have we learned today? Well, we still haven't gone to the Maze's center and looked at our things. So let's reset and do that. Oh, the dragon has wakened. The presence of the scribble must have... You don't know what, but something occurred in that moment. A fragment of paper lies by the hatchway. I assume we've already read the paper. Yeah, okay. Orbiting circles of sea green runes cover the inner screens. This is Numa, one of the Marcher's 4 dragons. Numa is responsible for light, warmth, and the flow of air. We don't get anything else other than... They're moving! Hooray! Neat. So, we have fixed a dragon. Well, I guess we can... I want to be impatient and immediately do the corrected Great Marriage, but maybe we don't do that right away. We have other things we can do. We just learned Grendel's Sealing, which I think we can use to make the Fulcrum, to get other dragons going. That's good. Oh, this is going to be a challenge. And yeah, we learned something that lets us breathe vacuum. Gee. Yeah. Thinking. Okay. Where's my recipes? Recipe list. I wonder if we can make the vacuum protection potion. Let's mess with this right now. Let's take a little break and see if we can walk around in hard vacuum. I'm pretty sure we have all this stuff. Exhilarant is seaweed, right? Yeah. Okay. Heck, just like old times. Just collecting things. And passivity is phlegmatic, right? Yeah. Get that high lime. Fun, fun. And we absolutely have those other 2 evocations. Neat. Okay, where are we? Let's go to the nearest. Let's use the nave for this. It's fun. All right. Now what do we do? There is our exhilarant environment. You take a breath, trace the bound in your mind, and intone the phlegmatic sealing word. The arc begins to glow golden around the beaker of saline. Ooh, I guess we're exhilarant. Years of training and instructors shouting have convinced you to mix chemic reagents only in the bounds of a ritual, never in their original containers. But that's what I was doing. What am I doing wrong here? We prepared an auxiliary environment. We have a measure of saline. We said the speaking word of passivity. Add highline. Maybe I'm just... What if we do this? Okay, different indirect object. You empty the vial of high lime into the beaker. The powder slowly dissolves. Could be good, could be bad. You begin the anodyne evocation. The rhythm beats in your chest and blood. The liquid in the beaker shivers and begins to effervesce. You begin the greater phlogistical saturation. The tonal vowels and labial stops require all your concentration, but you manage to hold them in place. The bubbling of the solution increases to a roiling boil and then ceases abruptly. The bound fades. You lift the beaker and gently decant the clear potion into a fresh bottle. We now have a potion of vacuum protection. Drinking this clear potion will protect your flesh and blood from the ruinous effects of the airless void. The effect should last for some hours. Okay, looking at our map, I want to make a beeline for that thing with the thing, which is to say, what was it? We're able to make the chime that can get through glass, and that can get stuff into the Scaife Bay because it was airless. That sounds good. Let's do that. Now, we have to remake that, and I have to remember what the heck that thing was called. One of these things. Metal attractor, we don't need that. Glass permeability inscription. There we go. What if I just say perform glass? Yeah, that'll work. Nope, wrong button. Scaife Arcade is where we want to be. Moving at a good clip here, about an hour in to session number 10. Captain Hart has vanished, which, yes, we know that. We know that. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. What is the verb that was given to us? Strike it again and embed it into the pane of glass. That is so cool. I love that. It'd be one thing if you just stabbed it into the window, but you have to hit it first, and then that's cool. I like it. You tap the bronze F sharp chime. Its bright resonances fill the room and then shift to a steady, sustained hum. Splat. You press the chime against the window. The glass vibrates and the bronze sinks slowly into it, not like metal into tar, but like a knife sliding in between infinitesimal layers of glass. I love doing this. When you draw your hand away, the chime remains suspended in the glass. Its vibration continues at a steady pitch. This right here, this would be impossible to put in an immersive 3D sim. Unless a character says like, "Wow, it feels just like sliding a knife between infinitesimal layers of glass," but they wouldn't, because that sounds ridiculous. Nobody would say that out loud, even if that's what they were thinking. Because no one thinks that. It has to be told to you by a narrator. Maybe it would work if a narrator said it. But anyway, text games. They're great. Oh, we got to drink the actually, well, hey, just for reference sake, right? Let's do our control group here. What happens if we try without the potion? Well, buddy, the bay must be in a hard vacuum to pressurize through its damaged roof. Walking through in this state, nudge, nudge, would be deadly. Let's imply that there's a different state you could put yourself in. You swallow the clear potion. The liquid feels waxy and thick in your mouth. After a moment, your skin itches furiously all over, but only for a few seconds. The sound of the bronze F sharp chime continues. I'll take advantage of that. Hope it continues for a while. Oh boy. You press your fingers against the glass. You feel a steady vibration and a yielding as the glass slides through your flesh. It's rather unnerving and you push the rest of your body through as quickly as possible. The vacuum plucks at your clothing for a moment, but the only other sensation is a nagging dryness in your sinuses. Very strange. Unfortunately, your possessions do not fare so well. In the vacuum, the flask of saline boils away. Exoscape Bay. Oh shoot, we didn't make our Oculus. No, you are in a wide brick hall, or perhaps an indoor courtyard. It is unfurnished and undecorated, not meant for human occupation. It was built to house the steel bulk of the Exoscape, which vehicle occupies most of its floor space. Which vehicle occupies? That's fine. Whose vehicle anyway? You know, that's probably technically correct. The west wall is dominated by enormous steel doors, wide enough for the scaphe to trundle out on its missions. The doors are currently closed. A much smaller and darker doorway is visible to the north. A long window on the east wall provides a view of the arcade. The crack in the roof has been crudely patched, but quite a bit of rubble is still strewn around the bay. Airless silence attests that the atmosphere has not been restored. A brittle sheet of paper lies on the ground near the window. I was not expecting the crack in the roof to be patched. This leads credence to my theory that other crew members are running around solving puzzles according to their own knowledge and resources, which are not those of a lowly ensign, even one with a preternatural knack for nailing alchemical recipes and eidetic memory. You're going to go far, kid. That's all I can say to Ensign Forsyth. What we got here, howsevers, is, Look at that crack again. Chunks of brickwork seal the roof now. Pneuma must be holding them in place. Thanks, Pneuma. Oh, I wonder if fixing Pneuma fixed that somehow, or allowed that to be fixed. I don't know. It's weird. Everything is strange. The Exoscape looks like a monstrous steel tortoise on rolling treads. It's parked on the east side of the bay, aligned with its portal, but in fact, its bulk fills most of the hall. The scaphe has been seriously dented by a falling brick. The glass dome on top is definitely cracked. And the F-sharp chime continues to vibrate, and I do not have perfect pitch. I do not have any pitch, let alone perfect, so I'm not going to attempt to hum an F-sharp chime for you. Sorry. What else can we look at here? Let's look at those doors. The doors to the west are tall sheets of steel. They are closed. They are closed, and you cannot open them by hand. Okay, maybe we can. Do we ever get to drive that turtle around? I don't know. Smaller and darker doorway to the north. That is dangerous. This doorway is very, very dark. It's not on the map, but I assume if we go into it, we will get sucked into the void. I'm curious why it is not on the map, but I don't want to. We're not going in through that. That's something we've learned. Window to the east wall is how we got in here. Crack in the roof is... We've already looked at it. All right, enough of that. Let's read the paper. This sheet is somewhat fragile after its exposure to vacuum. It carries an alchemical formula of the Oriental tradition. The name of the tortoise is an elemental invocation of water. Everyone knows that there are 5 elements in China, not 4, but this is the first time you've seen one spelled out. You memorize the information, including the name of the tortoise. You also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. We have definitely seen reference to the name of the tortoise, and for the life of me, I cannot remember where. Well, okay, otherwise, aka the Exoscape, a glass dome surmounts the Exoscape. It's been damaged by falling brick, but you can't see how badly. Well, I wonder if we can go into the Exoscape and then go up into its dome, since we are protected for basically a long time. All right. Well, I think we're all done here. Hatch is closed. Wrong thing. Okay, ka-clunk. So now, can we open our hatch without dying? The dome hatch cannot be opened against a pressure differential. I swear there was some thing in here that we could mess around. Ah, you pull the lever. Air shrieks through the valve, and then the whistle fades away as the pressure in the scaphe drops towards zero. The vacuum plucks at your clothing for a moment. Another new room, and also without an oculus. Exoscape Dome. If you were piloting the scaphe, you'd sit in this seat and work the controls, peering out through the glass dome around you. The vehicle looks to have fallen on rough times, however, or vice versa. Haha. The dome is cracked, the air is gone, and the controls look dead. The only exit is the hatch in the floor, which is open. A desiccated sheet of paper and a thin key are visible under the console. It has been so long since we have come across a key. This is a thick key of some cheap alloy. You recognize the shape. It's one of the keys used to unlock fire doors in the Marcher after an all-sections drill. Well, son, slip that in our... What are we wearing for clothes anyway? Can't see any such thing. Okay. Do the thing. What? Okay. A diamond purged of every flaw. This ritual requires an environment influenced only by living stone. The deeper and purer, the better. Well, we do have some of that from the chasm, I guess. Place a diamond within the bound and employ a phlegmatic passive sealing word. Sound a note in the mode of ostension. Place elemental earth upon the gestalt shelf to serve as a template. Speak the crystalline tempering. This will bring the structure of the diamond as close as perfection as mortal substance can sustain. Okay, so it literally makes a perfect diamond. I thought it was being metaphorical in its title, but of course not. That's not how we do things here. A note on the back says, while elemental earth is essential for many procedures, a perfectly flawless diamond may sometimes be substituted. This is particularly true in the synthesis of caustic reagents. All right. So, why is this useful? Now we can do 2 rituals in the same loop that require elemental earth by subbing in a diamond that has been treated to this ritual for one of the 2. This is just like how we can sub in, what was it? Phlogisticated electrum for gold. Electrum regium for gold to ignite elemental fire. Not that we've done that successfully yet. But that's what this is. Oh, lookout works. Through the dome, you see that the bay roof has been damaged and hastily repaired. Chunks of brick are clumped hither-tither at the top of the vault, as if an invisible hand were holding them in place. Thanks, Numa. The scaphe itself is parked by blah blah. We've heard this. Heard it all before. All right. Right, down and out. Oops. Let's fix that. Okay, we'll do that. You pull the lever, but nothing happens. It snaps back when you release it. Oh. Okay. Are we stuck? I don't know if this is supposed to be a puzzle or not. The Exoscape portal cannot be opened. Well, that's curious. I wonder if we've messed ourselves. Well, I mean, obviously, maybe this is a puzzle. To get to the key, you have to get into the scaphe. But in order, or the Escape Dome rather, but to do that, well, I wonder if we could smash our way out through the, it is made of glass, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think there's any way out through this passageway, because I think we've messed it up. I don't think there's any more controls to pull here. It is, after all, an emergency lever. I mean, yeah, there's a conveniently located void that we can leap into, but we lose the key if we do that. So this may be a puzzle. Pondering. The dome surrounds your upper body, allowing you to look out on the bay in every direction. However, the collapse of the bay roof has damaged the glass. The dome is still in one piece, but several cracks run across it. They look nasty enough to have let the air out. Can we just smash it, dude? The glass is cracked, but some alchemical virtue holds the dome together. Someone built this thing well. Now, I wonder if... You know what I'm thinking is, we can reuse that the chime on this glass dome. Let's try it. We can do it pretty cheaply, I think. Why? Pondering. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Yoink. Make... What was that potion called? I am confused. Glass permeability. Well, let's do that again. Doink. And... What did we call it? Not breath holding. Super duper breath holding. Actually, just make a vacuum will probably work on it. Doink. Okay. I'm actually... That might not work. Yeah, curved glass has irregular vibrational modes and the tuning will fail. Let's try it anyway. Like, I think that's basically saying, yeah, that won't work on the Scaphe smart guy, but, let's try it. Can't hurt. Also, what can't hurt is that. Yes, I do. I do want to depressurize the entire marcher. Why not? Fine, you're no fun. Nope. As I feared, you press the chime against the glass dome. You feel the bronze almost slip in, but it skates off the irregular glass. The vibration mutes and dies. Bummer. Okay. Can you throw the key out through the cracks? Still have the key, right? Oh, it's now called a spare lab. Wait a minute. I had two keys on me the whole time. So I'm like, why is it called a fire door key? It is explicitly called a lab key, which is hilarious. This looks like a key to the Tertiary Alchemy Lab. Why someone left it in the scaphe, you have no idea. The cracks in the dome are too narrow to push anything through. Come on. It was even called a thin key, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, it's a thin key that says it's pushable through cracks. It's thin. Boo. That should have worked. Okay. A part of me is afraid I'm overthinking this, and you should be able to just walk out somehow. But I think it's really implied that once you get up here, you can't. There's no getting. I don't know. I just want to repressurize the scaphe. Is that too much to ask? Emergency evacuation has left the chamber of dead airless silence. Cabinet. We're not doing that. Oh well. Try one more thing. There's another control here. Valve wheel. Valve wheel is marked emergency bay pressurization is also marked with the shorthand symbol of pneuma, who was working. The valve this is new. The valve turns stiffly. You hear air whistling through the pipes faintly and then louder as the pressure in the bay increases. After a time, the whistle drops to a hiss and then stops. Is that good? What if we try it again? You spin the valve closed again. The valve turns easily. The scaphe bay is already at full air pressure, so you hear no further equalization. Okay, well, I'm glad I remembered that was there. So can we just go up now? Heck, you can go up. That's fun. Is this the... Okay. All right. Okay, we're just gonna walk out of that. That seems... You know what? I'll take it. I'm charmed. It's good. Tertiary Alchemy Lab. I'm gonna make that Oculus. I'm sick of not having that Oculus. Okay, not everything's there. Let's go to the Exoscape Bay again. Oop. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. I got to do it. I wonder if we can do this without the potion now. Yeah, wait. Yeah, we didn't make the potion. We're just hanging out in the nice, airy Exoscape Bay, which is perfectly breathable and fine. In fact, yes, it says in the text, a crack in the roof has been crudely patched, but quite a bit of rubble is still strewn about the bay. The air is back, at least. All right. And there's nothing here. What if I grab the chime? The chime goes dead as you pull it from the glass, and its symbol dissipates. Okay. It's not something I can just carry around with me and stab into every window I see for the rest of the game. I bet there's a second place we can make use of that, but not this loop, not this iteration. Anyway. Doop doop. We're bashing our head on a wall. That's how we play the game. East from the lab hall. First, unlocking and opening the pine tertiary door with the spare lab key. Hooray, 10 weeks in. We did it. Solved. Puzzle that we weren't even thinking about until today. Tertiary Alchemy Lab. This is the retort's fanciest lab, all shiny and new. Of course, the rectors usually have it reserved for fancy, shiny work. The center of the room is a dais built with a ritual arc in bright platinum inlay. You don't say. The arc itself is platinum, eh? That's useful. Cool. I like that. The door to the west is open. This is the first time that I've ever paid attention to the material that the arc is made of, because I think this has been not exhilarated for our I don't know. My point is, I think we might be able to phlogisticate some electrum here, dudes. So we'll be getting on that presently. The door to the west is open. You notice 2 vials here, a blue vial labeled anti-tellurian distillate and a pale gold vial labeled nickel. Good. Let's get right on. God. So what am I doing here? I want to mess around in the airlock before we do this. No, we're going to phlogisticate some electrum. That's what we're doing here today, because that is something we had carried over from that was a frustration of last week, and I wish to address this directly. Let's make us a thing. I think we could just make electrum regium and it'll do the right thing. Clonk, there it is. Catalytic environment. Clonk. Uh-oh. Is this our problem? What happened? The platinum rod became the length of platinum wire, which became the electrum regium rod you're holding. You can't make the yang oil. Why can't we make the yang oil? Did we need the platinum wire to make the yang oil? I know we haven't. Maybe we need to do it here in the tertiary lab. Also catalytic environment. Let's see if we can make the yang oil in the tertiary lab without needing to mess around with any extra platinum wire, people. Sweet floral. Yeah, that's the thing I needed a nudge for. Shamefully. No, it is not shameful to use a hint. Get... Very nice hint from chat, actually, on that one. Thank you, chat, last week for giving me the hint on how to make a sweet floral element. Honeysuckle. I'm already holding for some reason. Oh, right, because I'd set up my experiment and I got stuck starting it. So conveniently, I already have everything. That's good. Oh, we have to play with the fire again. Righto. No, I don't want to go to the key. That's still going to say the same thing. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah. And there's no shelf here. The dais is a catalytic... Oh, it says! If you even look at it, look at that. The dais is a catalytic ritual bound and arc of platinum inlaid directly into the floor. It's the newest, fanciest style of alchemical workmanship built into the marcher only last year, and you've never, ever gotten a chance to use it. Until today. A beaker of mineral oil rests within the catalytic bound because we just put it there. Delicious. Seal with a passive, right, so speak. Phlegm. The arc begins to glow green around the beaker of mineral oil. Now we crush the honeysuckle. Clonk. Not the honky suckle. Boy, I don't know why I keep typing that. I don't, and I have no comment. Perfume lingles. The perfume lingles. Penguin. Now I'm getting silly. Excuse me. We have an hour left. Sorry, everybody. Add a bit of reed pith to the bound and ignite it. So, first we're going to ignite the linden. And then we're going to put the pith in the bound. Then we're going to ignite linden, ignite the pith with linden, because I remember how this works. And then recite phlogistical catalysis. And we have yang oil that we made with one fewer ingredient. And I hope that we'll remember that in the future the next time we need to insta-make some. Good. Now what? We were shaving a yak here. What particular yak were we shaving? We wanted to make... no, that was the yang oil we couldn't make and that were stopped earlier. And now we want to ignite. No, we want to phlogisticate electrum. Conveniently, look, here we are in a catalytic environment. How does our bound look? It's empty. Let's do... We have the electrum in our pocket? Yes. Clonk. There it is. Oh, fun. We've been wanting to do this all game, and it's happening, my friends. The arc begins to glow green around the electrum regium rod. Finally going to use this yang oil. I cannot believe it. Oh my god. You empty the vial of yang oil, which, by the way, I presume is named after game designer and scholar Robert Yang, who I haven't acknowledged this whole game. If you're watching for some reason, hello, Mr. Radiator. Thank you for your contribution to this game. You empty the vial of yang oil onto the electrum regium rod. The oil sinks into the metal, giving a flush of richer gold to the electrum's sheen. What? Oh, I'm getting punchy. Sorry. That's it. That's it. We're just going to bind it. Bind that sucker. You intone the elementary word of binding. The syllables snap cleanly away. The green light flares, focuses, and bursts as a shower of sparks from the electrum rod. When your eyes clear, the rod looks no different, but its sense of imbued energy is palpable. And we're actually going to remember to pick it up this time. It's a small rod of phlogisticated royal electrum. Why were we doing this? We were doing this to make a fire in a way that lets us get through the antechamber and do a fire thing in the chancel. Wasn't I deciding that we weren't doing that yet? I can't remember. Let me look at my own notes. Well, we did this. This is pretty rad. We haven't actually ignited the thing yet. We should actually do that first, but no, I think that's what we have in our notes is try to do this again in the chancel. I wonder if we can do this within our time limit tonight. And I haven't actually done the thing with the ignition, electrum ignition. Is that a separate thing? No, I don't think there's a separate ritual for igniting a fire with electrum. It just, you get this piece of information that you can use it to sub in, to sub this in instead of gold when gold's called for. So we're going to look at our gold ignition and we're just going to sub in our electrum and let's do it. So from the top here, oh, interesting. No, there's this piece of text here that I have ignored this whole time is that you can ignite, if you have another wick, as it says, you can, and you have some phlogisticated ignited gold handy, you can just reignite your electrum. Interesting. So we can do that as a shortcut, I guess. And I want to try that because it sounds fun. And I bet... No, we've already reset close enough. I bet we can just perform gold ignition. Flonk, there it is. And now, what if we say this? What if we say this? You hold the flaming phlogisticated gold rod to the phlogisticated electrum rod. The electrum begins to glow, not the dull red of heating metal, but with an inner lucence. The golden light seems to throb and unfurl and expand all at once. Heat presses against your face as you peer into the flame. You pull the gold and electrum rods apart. Golden elemental flames now burn steadily on each of them. Hey. It's a small rod of phlogisticated royal electrum. One end burns with the deep golden incandescence of elemental fire. So, now, I think we can keep one of these magical matchsticks in our pocket while we use up the other one to make the fire devourer that gets us through the burning thing, which we have to get get through the chancel. So I think if we... First, we need to extinguish that fire, because if we try to bring the elemental water or anything else into it, it'll die. That's not right. Well, let's go to the antechamber first. Let's just go to the chancel. We're going to do the chancel. Is that right? Yeah. Pow. Many things happen. Look at all this stuff. One of these days, I'm going to reread this whole list again, but I'm not going to do it right now. Because I want to see if we can do this thing before we're done for the night. All right. Now I want to see if we can get all the elements. We have one. Ooh. You know what? We're going to have to make that diamond and use that in this. Because we absolutely need to make the earth to make the... Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. No. I was thinking we need the earth... Did we use up the earth just now, man? I don't know. Holy smokes. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I was thinking we needed the earth to make the thing to locate the... one thing at a time. Let's just finish typing this. Okay. Yeah, we know where our diamond is. Fine. We'll worry about that later. Okay. The shard of elemental earth is gone. You used it in a ritual in the chemic lab. I bet we used it to... Yes, okay. I bet we used it to extinguish, to make the fire devourer, which we didn't need to worry about when we were doing the lesser version of the Great Marriage in the nave. We don't have that luxury now. So let's go do the diamond thing. See how far we can get on that. And check out our website. Check out the diamond thing. What was it? A diamond without flaw. That's what it was called. No, it's not. Where Where is it? Where are you? What were you called? Resonant Oculus, Perfect Mud, Metal Attractor, Great Marriage, Granite Solvent. Dissolve only granite. Oh, I guess we never had to actually literally dissolve granite. We just dissolved other things using this. That's fun. Where did it go? I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to... Flaw? What was it called? Without flaw? Perfect? No. Arg. Come on. Yes, the substitution, creation. This, what? This, what? What does the substitution say? What are you saying about that? Is these two different facts? Oh, yes, as an aside, do you know... Okay, so this is called a diamond purge of every flaw. That's not under D, though. It's not here. Oh, I guess it's a formula? Buh. Why isn't it in rituals? I don't care. I found it here. Living stone. The deeper and purer, the better. Oh, I see what you're saying. We need to use the deep lab for that. Oh, okay. We can't do this yet. This can only mean that you actually have to perform the ritual surrounded by living stone. Looking at the map, I see that the deep lab has a ritual bound in it. So that is absolutely where this is going to happen and no other place. So we are not going to make a perfect diamond today because we cannot get to the deep lab until we jumpstart Barassi. And yeah, so we need to fix that dude, which we can't even get into his room yet. Oh my. Well, we are not without options, but we're not doing this today, which makes sense. It would be unlike this game and the pace at which this game is flowing for the lesser teasing version of the big ritual and the corrected greater version of them to be able to fire off so closely together. So that's not happening. We need to fix these dragons, which means we need to mess with that fulcrum, which I'm scared about. Like, that sounds complicated. Let's revisit that one. Grendel ceiling. That's the one we got. And where is... So can we recall how the fulcrum is supposed to work? Because there's other facts about this. It's in here somewhere. No, not that one. Here we are. I'm going to reread this, and I'll probably reread it again next week. What do you think? If one of a marcher's dragons becomes disorganized, the vessel is in serious danger. As an emergency measure, the faulty dragon may be subsumed into an active one, transferring its functions. The composite will be unstable, but may suffice to rig the marcher to a safe berth. Place a fulcrum, which we can make, maybe. If we can at least do that much today, that'll be something. In the active dragon's lair. A footnote here, any lair will suffice. In fact, the fulcrum merely provides leverage. So at this time, we would create it and then drop it into the paper maze. Prepare an orderly environment. Use the marcher's invocation. Follow with a symmetric sequence to indicate a forward transition, the active dragon consuming the damaged one. Conclude with the Draken invocation, which we have learned today. This will summon the active dragon. One can translate it to the presence of the other. Warning, do not allow the dragon's presence to cross the fulcrum node. I don't know what that last bit means. I guess you can't bring the dragon into the... Well, see, now I absolutely want to try that. Maybe that's how we can go out tonight, by destroying reality. Let's do it. All right, we need to make our fulcrum. Metallic quicksilver or quicksilver amalgam. That is... I don't know how that's going to work, buddy. Nothing comes to mind. And my heart sinks, because I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, I think that's also known as mercury. Also, nothing comes to mind. What if I just say a typo? Nope. All right. Quicksilver is just mercury, right? It's just a cool old school way of saying it, but in any case, we don't have anything like that. It's not nickel. It's its own thing. It is an element, and we don't got none yet. Huh. Well, what else can we do? There is the airlock that we can play with since Numa is active, and we might be able to go outside since we can walk around in outer space now. So, another thing on our list is... Oh. Still didn't... I went through all that, and I forgot to look through the Oculus. Nothing. What is this distillate? This vial contains a small quantity of anti-Tellurian distillate, a thin fluid of an improbable indigo blue shade. Okay. Sure thing, buddy. And on the map there's a, I guess, I don't know, there's a rectangle, and I'm like, oh, clearly that's a cabinet of some kind, but no. Interesting that there's no ritual bound on the map. I guess it's just in the floor. It's so fancy. You drop the splinter of green linden as it burns down to nothing. Ouch. That's fine. We didn't need it. Let's spend our last few minutes of tonight's session playing with hard vacuum. Yay! The airlock is a stumpy cylindrical chamber 10 feet long and 10 feet across. It is used whenever the retort is rigged into a non-Gaian land. Chamber walls are bare steel. At each end is a circular slab of door. The inner door to this house is open. The outer door to the north is closed. What if I close the door? Which do you mean? I mean the inner one. The inner door is massive, but well balanced. It swings shut with a massive whoomp. What if I open the outer door? The airlock outer door is sealed. The world outside must not have Gaian air pressure. Well, duh. We have a pressurization lever now with a symbol of Numa. The lever is currently pushed down. You know that pulling it will depressurize the airlock. Not that you've ever been allowed to do anything that interesting. I've been doing things very interesting all game, thank you. But I haven't done this yet. Ooh, this is new. You pull the lever. Air begins hissing out of the airlock. You feel your ears pop. Gah! You push the lever back before the pressure can drop further. Suffocating yourself is not on the agenda. The last time we tried this, the lever was either immobile or dead, because that was the state of Numa, which is no longer the state. So you know what we're going to do. Hehehe. But, oh, I forgot to drink the potion. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, well, I don't care. You pull the lever. Air hisses out of the airlock. After several long moments, the sound fades. All sound, in fact. The vacuum plucks at your clothing for a moment, but the only other sensation is a nagging dryness in your sinuses. Unfortunately, your possessions do not fare so well. In the vacuum, the phlogisticated gold rod is extinguished. The torchlighter shatters. I don't care. Onward. First, well, this is a fine place to go out, and I'm happy with this. North, Hadean Plain. You stand at the edge of a Hadean land, title now. Gray, lifeless dust crunches soundlessly beneath your feet. The sky is black. The stars are glorious. And you have no more protection than the potion you drank. Behind you are the comforting walls of the retort. The airlock is a heavy circular door in the south wall. It is open. To the west, you can see the broad window of the portico. But to the north and east, the Hadean plain stretches away towards jagged foothills. Your first venture walk. You're a real marchman now, aren't you, Swabby? So happy. Explain, you can't see any such thing. Womp, womp. Just look around. There's no portico either. Wow. The sight of the Hadean land overwhelms you that you can't remember nouns. That's fine. Well, I get some foothills. Have to come out here for some reason. The hills are etched in shades of gray against a sky of stars. You can see a low spot to the northeast, probably the opening of a mountain pass. I will note that on the map, there is nothing to the northeast. It's there ain't nothing past this thing. So let's do it. Into the Here Be Dragons part of our map. You hike up towards the pass. Your feet kick up dust which falls behind you, never trailing in the non-existent air. Hadean Land in Canyon. That's a great detail with the dust that does not trail. You are working your way through a narrow canyon. Angular gray mountains loom above you, and stars shine down on it all. The canyon zigzags down to the southwest. To the southeast, it slopes more gradually, opening into another dusty plain. A twisted metal shape is visible across the plain, but you cannot tell what it is. You also see an opening in the canyon wall to the northwest. It might be some sort of cave, but if so, it is very dark. Oh, how dark is it? The cave is very, very dark. Okay, that's another void entrance, which we will pay no mind to at this time. And I have a mind to... let's see here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Southwest takes us back towards the Marcher. Southeast goes towards a twisted metal shape. You can only make out a twisted heap of metal. It might be some sort of marcher, but it doesn't look like a building. More like a seagoing ship somehow dropped out of the black sky. Perfect. The mountains look much higher now that you are among them. If we try going in a different direction. The only navigable paths are southwest and southeast. The cave is northwest. You continue down out of the crags. The shape grows as you approach, becoming a twisted metal hill by the time you reach its foot. Hadean Land at wreck. You stand at the foot of a wall of metal. It is not a simple construction. It leans inward here, outward there, tracing an irregular shape that looms over the dusty plain. Perhaps it's broken, for debris is scattered around. Mountains rise all around, forming a jagged gray bowl which cups the metal wreck. You can see the canyon pass to the northwest. A hexagonal outline on the wall to the east might be a door. If so, it is closed. A small black knot, a tangle of strokes, is drawn on the hexagon. Next to the hexagon, a small circular arc is incised into the metal. A small puddle of mercury gleams in the dust. And I'm going to do the annoying thing. And that, friends, brings us to 8 p.m., and that's enough for tonight. And this is I am very happy that 2 weeks running we've ended at a very good episode end. This feels perfect. So thank you for joining me, and we are going to, I think, do episode 11 in a week, which is February 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll play for 2 more hours. Maybe we'll explore this wreck. And if not, I get some mercury here, and I know what to do with that. So there's going to be more shenanigans. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, as they say, like and subscribe. I am Jason McIntosh, a.k.a. Jmac. You can find me on Twitter and on the web at jmac.org. And see you in the stars. See you next episode.